Warning, the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Oh, Prodigal Son returns! Yes, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coach's Box. It's the Happy Birthday Merica edition, episode 240. Yes, I am Jim Powers. Glad to be back on the show. Coach Miller, Coach McVey, and Jughead on vacation, joining us remotely from somewhere down where it's really hot and there's a beach. Hello, boys.
How we doing?
I
didn't hear Chris.
No,
Can you
Chris
hear me
ain't
now?
talking.
Yep, we hear you now.
Good.
I'm here.
Chris isn't talking. He's just running the show.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah,
trying
that
to
was
push
his-
your buttons.
That was his comment. We're talking. He's just going to push
Yeah, what you guys
buttons
want to
for the
talk
evening,
about?
so.
Oh, okay, we're going to talk about soccer. Okay, I don't care. All right,
By
go
the way, USA advances to the Gold Cup Championship. 2-1 win over Guatemala tonight down here, downtown St. Louis. And good for them. They've had a good summer so far in the lead up to the World Cup that'll be
I was going to
next
say,
year,
what
so.
sport are you talking about, Jim? I don't know anything about that.
Soccer.
What?
Yeah, that. I miss
Ice
Kevin.
skating?
By the way, happy anniversary to
Yeah,
happy
Kevin and
anniversary,
his
Kevin.
bride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on assignment tonight, actually going to dinner. So
There you
we
go.
want to say happy anniversary
That's
to
an important
Kevin. So-
assignment. He can't mess that one up. He messes
No.
that one up. He's not only off the show, he has half of his crap and probably lives in a cardboard box.
He's
So,
knocking on one of our doors. Hey, you got extra room?
We're in Jarvis's basement.
I didn't know I'd make it tonight or not, but I felt like I don't want to be called Jim Powers this week, so I wanted to show up. I mean, like,
Jim Jr.
Thank you.
Yep, look at how much beard he's got. It's been so long.
Hey, Jim, where's your volleyball at? The the one that you put your palm on and then yelled Wilson to?
Wow.
You look like you've been on an island.
I feel like I've been on an island. Trust
It's
me.
okay.
Believe me when I tell you. I mean, this is
Island of
look at
outcasts.
this mess. Yeah,
Gosh.
the cabbage is not looking good right now. So
Hang out with Tom Hanks a little bit.
yeah. We had a good
That's
time
scary.
on some
That's-
sort of
That's scary.
beach.
Too many comments.
Too many
So-
jokes. Not enough time. I mean, listen. Diddy got off.
In more ways than one.
Oh.
I mean, it didn't get convicted of the two most heinous
Dismissed.
crimes.
Dismissed.
Yeah, I mean that means
Yeah.
at least one juror was paid off. So
Wow.
I'm sorry. If there's that much evidence, I mean, let's be real here. Let's be real here.
Tucker,
We all know.
Tucker from the NFL, from the Ravens, he gets canned from his job. Did he? He gets acquitted, or he gets.
Well, not all of it. He's gonna go. He's got to go to jail. They denied him bail, and he was really upset about that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, I heard
Yeah.
they're trying to work a RICO case, so maybe it's something bigger.
how they
They
gonna work a Rico
they
case? Over.
acquitted him on the RICO case.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, that's what
They
okay.
acquitted him on the RICO case.
The sex trafficking and the RICO stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the major ones that he could have got the longest prison time.
He could have got
for.
life for. They
Yeah, they-
acquitted him on.
Yeah. Sex trafficking is very bad, and I'm pretty sure he probably did that. But what do I know?
You think?
Yeah.
You may hear Weston talking to dinosaurs on the
Hey,
phone.
It'll be the most intelligent thing that came through your microphone in a long time. You keep it up, buddy. Go West. All right, so what are we going to talk about? Let's dive into the show. Jim, Zach, you guys are the ones who want to steer this.
circus.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
You can't steer when it's off the rails. How about that?
We haven't got there yet, but I have a feeling it's going to get there real quick. So
we were just talking about Diddy, so let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Jarvis is here. We're in the Cardinals, so let's start with Cardinals in segment number 1. Yeah. Let's see. 3 games of not scoring in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You waste 2 really good pitching. Polani pitched out of his mind yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And they got runners. I sent this in our group. Runners at second and third, 1 out, and you can't push a run across to tie the game in the 9th.
Bunt.
Something. Do something. But it's once again, Brad was listening to Brad Thompson today. He's like, oh, yeah, well, this team, it's like a roller coaster. No, this team hasn't hit in flipping a week and a half. How many shutouts have they had now in the past week and a half? 5, I think it is.
Yeah,
you're not going to contend when you're doing that. And I'm sorry, Kevin, they're not winning 91 games. Stop with the pipe dream.
I mean, they're definitely not going to win 91, but they are playing better than literally any human being thought that they would. So I'll give them that.
There's people talking about Marmol being in the early conversation for manager of the year.
Yeah.
What crack pipe are they smoking out of?
Well, Jim, it is legal now in Missouri to smoke marijuana.
I said crack pipe, not marijuana.
Well, there's a chance that they could be high.
Well, it's a little different in South City up there, That's crack pipe, not pot.
Not here. In this part, now you go a little bit over to the north. Absolutely. But I mean, what do they have to do? Because now they got the Cubs. This Cubs series went from meaningful to, I hate to say it, in the early July before the All-Star break. Mm-hmm. This series is now a make or break series for them.
It's a bold statement, Cotton.
I mean, we had talked about a few shows back about how July is going to be a relatively easier month for them. And then what are they going to do? What are they going to do at the deadline? Are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? I mean, this past series with the Pirates has not helped their cause. We'll see what they do going forward. But I mean, they're what, third in the division. I think at least 4, maybe 5 games back when all's said and done. After I think the Cubs are playing right now, but they're 4.5 right now. Could be 5. And then I don't know. Last I looked, there's I think 3rd in the wild card. Nope. Now they're 4th in the wild card. Yeah. So are we at the point to where we go from in our lifetime? And I know we had a little bit a bad spell in the 90s. But are we at the situation now, fellas, where it's like, well, it's okay, it's good enough, we can get a wild card and everybody's happy? Like, is that what ownership, front office is that okay? Is this mediocrity okay?
Well, they're okay with it because that's the team they put out there. You when you run the organization like you got the Oakland A's. Or whatever the Athletics, you can't even call them Oakland.
Are people still paying to go to games? I mean, that's what they're all about, the wallet.
I mean, it's drawing the fans and, putting that product out there. And that product isn't very good. Okay. It's just it's not great. They're playing out of their minds. They're playing above what they even are. Okay. To be honest with you, they really are. This is not a playoff team. If they make the playoffs, they well exceeded expectations. That means that they had to way back into the playoffs. Somehow somebody completely, pooped in their Cheerios and they didn't make it, so they got in. That's the only way they're getting in the playoffs. And then when they get there, thanks for playing. You're losing. See you later. That's it. They don't have what it takes. Sorry, they just don't. They don't.
Here's the other thing. What do you do with Fetty right now?
You trade him.
You got to get rid of. He can't be in this rotation if you want to contend for at least a wild card spot. Fetty cannot be in your starting rotation right now. He is just getting lit. Oh gosh, he is just getting lit up like a Roman candle on July 4th.
He has not looked good.
No, I just now read that. Okay. What the hell is so funny? Our private chat that nobody else can see.
No.
You know why? It's because poop's funny. Okay. Just
All right.
Yeah.
It's been really funny for Weston this week. So
I've at least made someone laugh. So this show is now a success.
I say he's used to making people cry. And I was making somebody laugh.
Usually that's how it goes.
No.
But I mean,
Exactly.
also Fetty. I mean, what is he his last 3 starts? I don't think
Terrible,
he's made it out of the.
terrible,
Yeah, he hasn't
and
made
even
it out of the
worse.
4th inning. I
Not
mean,
great.
if you're going to contend, you got to figure something out. And I don't know what they can do. Like I said, you waste a great start by Plani yesterday. I mean, probably one of his best starts that we've seen all year.
I mean, Jim, he has showed up a little bit more than what you've done lately. But I mean, it's okay.
Listen, just because he shows up doesn't mean he's getting anything done. All right, I'm here. Give me a paycheck. I'm out.
Oh my gosh! Yep.
Gosh, I miss Jason Jarvis so much on this show.
Just because he's here doesn't mean he's working. It's smoking like a never mind.
But it's
Fucking like a PE
truth.
teacher.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
But I guess
I'm a trooper, man. I'm even on vacation, and I show up, Jim Powell.
We're in his Cardinal
I
gear
hear
too.
I see that.
That's even good picture in one of the home run derbies. That's
Good call, Tyler.
Tyler Dunaway, man. He's got that's all. He's on the whole other side of the state. Good for him. Tuning in.
But offensive, what does this team got to do offensively? You got to figure some stuff out.
Burley was the only one hitting for like forever. I mean, it's bad. It's bad.
They got to utilize.
We need to pick up
small
another
ball
catcher.
We need another catcher. Yeah, there we go.
Another catcher.
Yeah, that's.
I've been getting made fun of a little bit. I've wore this hat a couple times down here, and yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, because they aren't that good.
Well,
I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, you're a Cardinals fan, huh? All right.
It's
It's gonna get to the point where people who are alive don't remember the Cardinals are one of the flagship organizations of baseball. If we just keep it up,
we don't watch, or we're not going to be a flagship.
that's kind of what I'm getting at, Jason. Yeah. Thanks for jumping in. So that's
don't call him the best color commentator in the business.
Hi, ball. Caught.
He's not the best analyst in the league for nothing.
Hey, at least I'm here, Jim. At least I'm here, buddy.
But
so
I mean, they're putting together, they're hitting the
love
ball.
you guys. Just love you guys.
No analyst.
Love you guys. Thanks, Jason.
I mean, Al Robosky still has a job. Jim Edmonds doesn't, but I mean, Al does.
Matt Holliday used to have a job, now he doesn't.
There you go.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, what about his other son?
Yeah,
Ethan? He's probably gonna be the number one draft pick.
Yeah, that autographed card of mine's gonna skyrocket, so I'm really happy about that. I mean, how does Chip Carey still have a job? Has anybody seen that Freudian slip?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Water, Jim. See?
Oh, look. Water. It's wet.
Water.
That's
sweet
hot
nectar.
take right there.
Sweet nectar.
It's wet. Yeah, Zach, if you haven't seen that, go back and look at, or go and watch the Chip Carey 2 minutes of awkward silence after.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're like, oh, shoot. And then it's nothing. Dead air.
I mean, literally, Brad Thompson's in the booth with 30. Chip says it. 30 seconds goes by. Literally 30 of silence.
How about they have a dump button? They're supposed to have a dump button on live TV.
Not for broadcasts like that. They don't.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Jim would know. Big time would know.
I sure thought they did.
Hey, Jim, when I stop making fun of you, that means I don't like you.
I know.
I try to tell the kids that sometimes.
So did he say? America was great, like Rebecca
you just
Lobo
need to watch
did?
it. Just
Rebecca Lobo did,
and
you watch it. We're not. No.
You're not even talking about that?
I will say. Here's what I will
I'll
say.
be pulling it up right now.
He was reading off of when you're doing these broadcasts, you have a stage manager that is handing you these reads to do for promotions and sponsors and all that stuff.
He promoted it all right.
Ron Burgundy? Did he Ron Burgundy?
No, but he literally just rambled through this thing and said something that shouldn't have been said.
Okay, well,
we'll just leave it at that.
Yep, there you go.
But literally 30 seconds of dead air.
So that's the most exciting thing that's happened in the Cardinals broadcast. And you can tell with 30 seconds afterwards of dead air, still gets more hits online than the Cardinals get in a game.
I just looked it up. I mean, did Donald Trump back it, or
they pulled it?
Did he back the statement?
I don't think he better back the statement. That's
no.
Yeah, it is either way. So going back and let's put a bow on this Cardinals talk because this is how terrible it is. They suck. We all agree. You. Okay, we all agree. They suck. They can't hit. Kevin would be here going, #91 wins if he wasn't on his time at his anniversary. I'm telling you guys, it's either they don't hit or they can't pitch. And if they can't pitch, they can't put it all together. They can't put it all together consistently because they're not a good team. They're just not. If they somehow fumble into the playoffs, they are not going to win it. And Zach, to answer your question, I think management is okay with mediocrity because people are still buying tickets.
Yeah.
Not as many.
No,
but
this is probably going to go down in recent memory as one of the lowest attending seasons that the St. Louis Cardinals have ever had.
I can't believe it.
What's that?
Can't believe it. It's been, so much fun to watch.
What sellout have they had this year? Opening day.
Yeah, I think that's the only one.
And they were giving away tickets for opening day.
That way they could say it's a sellout.
Yeah. The Savannah Bananas are going to play there in 2 weeks, and they've got back-to-back sellouts. That tells you a little bit of something right there.
Every concert that they've had there has more people attending. That they take up half of the stadium with the concert. And you could take the pit area out, and you're still selling more tickets to go to concerts for people who are like way retired and out of their prime.
I was going to say, what, Flow Rider's coming up, man. It's like 2008 all over again.
Cup cards, and they only put 30,000 in there for one game, I think it was. But I know the Sunday or the Saturday game looked hideous, attendance wise.
It's bad. Moreno's in PNC Park. Right. He went to Pittsburgh to watch them play. Like, there's nobody there. We're turning into Pittsburgh of the Midwest.
Yeah, and that's one of the best parks in the
That's
major
what he was
leagues.
saying.
It is absolutely one of the best parks in the major leagues.
Yeah, one of my buddies was up there too.
Well, Pittsburgh's just wasted that with how terrible they run their organization. And guess what? Cardinals are right behind them. Here's my question. I'll shift gears. In 2 years, we're going to probably have a work stoppage in baseball because these contracts are out of control. Zach, you shaking your head? No, it's going to happen.
I'm just like, what? Really?
Yeah. The CBA is going to expire. The owners want a salary cap. It is not happening. There is no possible way. But you know what? I think to save baseball, they need one. I think they really do.
What they need they just need to stop paying people as much money as they are. And what I mean by that is, listen, you can go back to the Babe Ruth comment when he said, do you deserve all that money? And can the president hit a curveball? And like, I get it. It's entertainment, but the owners did it to themselves when they're trying to outbid each other. And instead of the owners, you call it collusion all you like, do whatever. I'd call it good business savvy and say, we're not going to have an official cap, but we're all going to get together as owners and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to pay these guys this much money.
But they're not doing that. You're not taking what 30 owners, and they're all going to think the same way, because what's his name who owns the A's? I keep using the A's. They don't even have a city right now.
Right.
Whoever owns them is not thinking the same way as the people who run and own the Dodgers. It's just not the same. And the fact of the matter is, the sport would do so much better with the revenue sharing and a salary floor. Forget about the cap. The floor is the most important part. So if you own the team, you got to spend money. You can't just say, we're not going to do that, and then collect the money that they get, because then that way they're trying to make a profit. You own a Major League Baseball team. You shouldn't make a profit. There's no way you should. There's so much money that goes out that you have to. You should be barely turning any profit, and that should all be on merchandise or all the stuff that goes with your ballpark. You mean not on attendance, not all that. Yeah, you're not doing it. But your product to put people in the seats so you can sell more beers is the thing that gets you to that point where you can. Or you say, I'm not paying salary. We're just going to have a bunch of these, cheap players, and we're going to try to turn a profit that way, because salaries impact about 85% of the money. And that's what they're doing. Just a fact of the matter.
So then why would you say they have to go against your argument here? Why would you say they have to have a salary floor, and you're going to mandate that they have a salary floor, versus them getting together and saying, hey, let's go ahead and not spend, instead of, because again, let's not offer $50 million a year.
Zach, you teach history.
Right.
In a perfect world, in a utopian society
that doesn't exist. I know.
It does not exist.
Right.
In a world without greed, communism would work. But you know what stops that?
Humans.
Greed.
Humans.
Yes, the human element. Greed is a powerful thing. So we're going to say we're not going to spend. We're going to say we're going to spend $250 million on salaries, right? Mm-hmm. But that one team says, I want to spend $251 million because we can. Well, that's not what we agreed to. So I'm going to spend 251 because they did, and they did, and they did, and they did. So now there you go. So we just keep bumping it up. Zach, you can't do that. It's called greed.
Okay.
I don't think you need a floor so much, but you absolutely have to have a cap. You have
to have a floor for the markets.
The Players Association is not even going to.
Nope.
If they see salary cap, they're going to rip that thing up, throw it right back into the face of Rob Manfred, who is one of the worst commissioners out there, and they're going to have to start from scratch. He's terrible.
I saw this.
Terrible.
I saw a video of this, and I'll get your. I want your thoughts on this, because none of us. I would assume none of us probably fit this category. Maybe not. But when you're talking about millionaires and billionaires, and you're talking about the difference between a 20 million and a 30 million, or a 70 million and 80 million, at some point, the more the money that you have, you're not spending. You can't possibly physically spend. So what is the point of purpose of needing that extra money? Now, I said need, not want. So again, if you're the owners, or if you're the players, and Jim, you say they're gonna throw away that collective bargaining agreement on the cap. Well, what are you going to do with $70 million that you can't do with $50 million? Nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
But here's the thing, Zach. What are the Dodgers?
Mm-hmm.
They've got 2 rotations, literally. They've got 10 pitchers that could be in anybody's rotation 1 to 5. And how much money did they spend there? You put a salary cap on that. Guess what? The Dodgers don't have 10 pitchers that could be number ones for any team in the country.
Right.
Okay, that's where I'm saying, and that's where the players are going to argue this and kick this thing out, because they don't care if the Dodgers want to spend $250 million on arms. Have at it, kids, because they want to spend the money.
Well, the players look at it for go ahead and spend, because at some point maybe I luck into those types of contracts. I get that, but if I'm a player, And again, Chris, I know you talk about like, hey, you have this limited window of opportunity to make this money.
Yep.
Okay. Would I rather get locked out when I could make 40 million? Okay. Or would I rather go ahead and take 40 million and play versus being locked out and saying, well, I really wanted 70 million. I'll take 40. I'll take the 40 because I'm not spending. I can't
baseball players
spend that money.
Baseball players are greedy SOBs. I'm just telling you that right now because they're conditioned to the owners just throwing money left and right, and that's what they're conditioned at. And JD's got a great point. Why I get why the players want more money. The owners have the luxury of their franchises increasing in value regardless if they suck or not. That's true. That is a true statement.
Well, the thing is, guys, the big contracts do not affect the majority of baseball players. They just don't. So all of the guys who are rolling that league minimum, the ones that should be wanting the floor, that would actually benefit them. That would a salary cap in essence would benefit them. To be fair, a cap is going to knock out the top 3 organizations that spend money. The floor is the thing that's going to raise the salaries of all of those guys on the bottom end, which is the majority of the players. So if you said, hey, look, we're going to put a salary cap and we're going to put it here, and that's going to knock the Dodgers and I'll say, for example, the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Mets.
The Mets this year.
So both New York teams and the Dodgers. So East Coast, West Coast, power hungry, spend a bunch of money teams. They're going to have to stay below this, but then that's going to raise everybody else. And the players are going to go, you know what? I'm okay with that because I'm going to make more money. So all these guys that are fringe dudes, they're going to make more money if they went with that. And it's only going to affect the top 3 teams.
I disagree because you look at like a Miles Michaelis. Okay. A Miles Michaelis doesn't get paid. The only reason why he gets paid and gets
you're not listening. Okay. Let's just say, what are the Cardinals spending on their, what's their salary? Jim, do you have any idea off the top of your head how much money they got wrapped up in salaries?
Probably less than 80 million, 90 million, maybe.
Oh, they got more than that.
No, I thought it was like, let me look.
Okay, look, let's just say hypotheticals here. Let's say 280 is the salary cap. That's the limit. You can't spend more than $280 million. Well, that's not every team's going to do that. They're not going to spend up to the cap. You don't have to. But you are going to have to spend a certain amount of money that you have to pay people.
Can I ask you a question? And I'll ask this group. And by the way, JD, yes, happy Bobby Bonilla Day yesterday. Another $1.3 million to Bobby Bonilla.
Because they didn't want to pay him $6 million at the time.
Because he's a Pox.
I mean, I also believe he's making money from the Reds too, isn't he?
He is, actually. All right, so here's my question. Under the current regime, DeWitt, Mozeliak, what was the biggest signee that they've had? Other than maybe Arenado.
And you're talking about like
free agent?
Like top tier player
that they paid?
Yes.
Probably Holiday.
I mean,
but how long ago was that?
Well, who was the stupid Cubs
left, so that would have been 12, 11, 12.
Dexter Fowler was a high one too.
Well, the pitcher.
But do you see what I'm saying? We're grasping for straws right now when it comes to that. Where other teams in the major leagues, every 1 or 2 years, they're getting a name that they're going to throw money at, and it's going to help their organization. We all thought Arenado was, and I still think there's part of Arenado that is helping the organization. But Dexter Fowler, he comes in with this big, what did he do? Nothing. Holiday, and we're talking 12. I mean, the one that I would remember, and this wasn't the DeWitt. DeWitt was the owner, but Jocketty was when they brought Larry Walker in. I thought that was one of the biggest moves that the Cardinals had made.
But
for
Larry
a
Walker
bit.
was 2 years away or a year away from retiring. Lance Berkman was 2 years away from retiring.
Beltran.
Will Clark. I mean, you're bringing up people.
Beltran was at the end of his career. They bring in all these guys who are like, this guy. I thought this guy was dead.
Where's the young?
Bringing?
Where's one of those young dudes?
He said dead.
He did. Yeah,
it's true. But we're grasping at straws. All right, in the last 5 years, other than Arenado, what is the biggest name that the Cardinals have thrown money at that is young and is going to make a difference in this organization?
Jim, the thing is, though, is they traded for Arenado with his contract. Like, that's not the contract that they set up.
Yeah.
It's so they go and get guys on trades, and then they're paying their contract out. The re-sign is the one that like
Matt Carpenter and crap when they re-sign these guys.
Yeah, I mean, and they had Carpenter. They could have paid him like pennies on the dollar or traded him when his value was high to go get some people. They just don't do that. They don't take this assets at the highest point that they're worth and trade them. Carlson would have been great. We could have gotten so much back for him when he was wanted. Yeah. Now you can't give him away. Everybody's dropping him because he's not any good. Tyler O'Neill, same way. We could have got a lot more for him. Didn't do it. Didn't.
I was just thinking that.
And here, to be honest with you, it's all of us. We're all part of the problem because Cardinals fans want the winning now, but the organization doesn't want to run it like it needs to be. They should say, you know what, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get rid of all these guys when their value is high. Trade them like we should have done Goldschmidt, Helsley, and everybody I just named, and gotten something back for them, took the lumps, and then been a powerhouse down the road. Wouldn't do it. It's just not. We're not doing it. And it's why? Well, the people in St. Louis will riot. They're rioting right now. Okay, everybody's pissed off right now. They're not going to the games, so that didn't work. You tried to make everybody happy enough, like, well, we're not going to do a complete teardown. They should have tore it down. It has been ran right in 8 years.
Well, but they don't. You don't have to go back and think about our perspective of what we grew up with. They weren't trading. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. They picked up Edmonds. They picked up Roland.
What a trade. Why did it? Okay, who did they trade Jim Edmonds for? There's a trivia question. Who did the Cardinals trade to get Jim Edmonds?
Vacation.
I'm not Ray, so I'm not saying anything to you. Who? Anybody know? What's the name? What's the one player? It was a 1-for-1.
I mean,
Kent Bottenfield. You know why?
No.
Because he won 20 games. Yeah. He was a 20-game winner, and they traded him when his value was the highest. You know what he did after that? Nothing. What did we get out of Edmonds? A lot. Why don't we do that more? Why? Because we just won't do it. They won't do those moves.
We did have Bonilla for a minute.
Here's the thing, we Chris, did. You just said,
and he was also almost
20
dead.
Game winner. He's our last 20-game winner.
He was almost dead.
I mean,
20 games don't mean anything anymore in baseball.
But what I'm saying, the point is who's good enough to make those who's good enough to make those trades? Like you said Dylan Carlson. When was Dylan Carlson ever a dude? When was Tyler O'Neill?
But he had value.
We would have got
value.
We would have got the outfielder that played for New York. Now he's
man, that was a good story, Jarvis.
Yeah. Soto. Well, but he wasn't gonna trade him over his cold dead body. Blah, blah.
Well, we could have had Soto for 2 years anyway, or a year and a half, and flipped him at the deadline and got everybody's prospects that wanted him from one of those teams. We could have traded him to the Dodgers and took them to the woodshed and got all their prospects. We wouldn't do it. We just won't do that. And I don't understand that way of thinking.
It's weird. Yeah. We won't take chances like that, but we'll take chances like, hey, let's give Eric Fetty $15 million for 2 years.
I say, look at Michaelis's contract.
Let's sign Michaelis. There's the one that even Matt's
was terrible.
That's my point.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, Chris.
Good. I'm glad. You should do that more. That's what drives me nuts about this, though. I would rather have been through a teardown and say, we're going to reset this thing, and then anything that has value, we got a 2.5 year window of trading off value to build from the bottom end up. Instead, well, we're just going to be right here in mediocrity, guys. Okay, everybody just be patient. We'll come out of this. And I'm going to keep working even though my replacement's in the building. You just sit over there. It's like he's cuckolding him in the side of the office over there. It makes no sense. I don't even understand how that happens.
On that note, I think it's time for a break.
Before we go on break, I'll tell you this. This might make us feel a little bit better about St. Louis. I've been to a couple places since I've gotten to Houston because we're flying out of Houston to get back. And we had an Airbnb set up, and we got there, and we decided there was no way I was staying at this place. There was no way that my poor wife and her sister were like, her sister pulled in, and I was like, oh, and I've not seen a good spot of Houston yet since we got here. So
the airport, maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know about the airport.
And I'm by the airport right now, and this hotel is probably an upgrade, but not much of an upgrade. But the place we were going to stay at though was scary. Like I felt like I was in East St. Louis. And yeah, so Houston has not been. Galveston, awesome. And
Houston, not so much.
No. Galveston, beautiful. Houston, not so much.
Oh, shoot. Well, let's go ahead.
On the wrong side.
Maybe. Never know. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to dive into some college football.
Break.
Jarvis, are you sticking around?
Yeah, I'm sticking around.
All right, just making sure.
Hold on, no. What does Chris want to do? Hey, let's do all the things.
Oh,
shut your mouth, Zach. I want you to shut your mouth. We're going to break.
As he's rolling his eyes.
This is the coach's box.
We'll
right
be back in a minute, right?
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Bro!
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Health Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling. We've got so much content on there. Gaming. Check it out. Live, not live. We've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Coach's Box Call Like We See It podcast. Zach, he had to go and deal with some fireworks and dogs barking and stuff because, you know, it's not the 4th of July, but everybody thinks it is for the next 4 or 5 weeks. But either way, we're still here. We're doing the show. If you guys enjoy the show, don't forget to like, share, post it, and, you know, make comments. We're fine with that. We've already brought people's comments to the forefront, and appreciate everybody tuning in.
And Jarvis, how much does it cost again? Please remind me. It's been a little bit.
It's been a long time. It's still free. And Zach, I thought the funniest part of that whole thing was put me backstage, like we're the opera or some.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called. Jarvis, come on.
Put me backstage. Leave me backstage.
I want to go backstage.
Yeah, that's what it says on the
whatever.
There.
You guys are terrible. Well, so anyway, what are we talking about on this train wreck?
All right, Zach, I'm going to let you lead into the NCAA talk because you had a brilliant idea.
Okay. Oh, whoa.
Yes, my friend Zach had a brilliant idea and a show topic for tonight. And no, we are not talking about replay in high school football because it's going to get us kicked off the stinking air if I have to go off on that. So anyway, go ahead, Zach.
We know your real feelings.
Okay,
yes.
I think that would be great, but we don't have to do that. All right, so I'm glad Jason is here because now listen. This is not meant to. Oh my God! This is not meant to be a Jughead versus Jim debate. No. And we will not gang up and bully Jim when we say this because
yes, we will.
Okay, that's fine. But okay,
can you just get to your damn point? I just didn't want to look at your face that long, and that's why we had to bring it back down, put everybody else on there.
I liked
it too. Please go back to just Zach Oley for a minute.
Yeah, you make the point now. Okay, it's all you.
Okay, all right, and show. So the debate topic is the Big Ten versus the SEC in college football. Is the Big Ten gaining ground on the SEC? And are we at a point to where, with all of NIL and with the addition of all of these other teams that have come in from the Pac-12, is the Big Ten not only going to catch the SEC but also surpass the SEC? Because and Chris, bring it back out to you guys because here's my debate, and Jason's not here. Is that we always say it's top heavy in the Big Ten, right? And so. You can't make this stuff. I guess he's not backstage. He's just left. He said,
"Oh, there he is."
Oh my gosh, fish islands. That was close up.
I had to go hit the fridge. Sorry,
the fridge.
And the show has hit a new low.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
we want to eat off the rails. Yep, that's where it just went right there. Here's what I'm going to say, Zach, and this is me as the Big Ten apologist in this group. No, the Big Ten has not caught the SEC yet. The Big Ten is so top heavy with 4 or 5 schools. It's not even worth the conversation. It is worth the conversation, but I'm realistic when I say that the SEC football wise and probably men's basketball wise and definitely baseball wise. There's no comparison right now. I mean, yes, the Big Ten is making strides, but until the Northwesterns of the world, until the Illinois of the world, until,
SEC has some bad teams in it too. The Mississippi States and Vanderbilts.
But still, and this is me as the Big Ten guy.
Okay.
I just right now the SEC. I mean, I think they're making little strides, but I don't think it's nearly what a lot of people think.
I'm very surprised at this take.
Really?
It's realistic. The Big Ten is 4 strong. We all know the 4 schools. Then you've got to get USC's got to get going. UCLA's got to figure out their stuff. Washington's got to get back to where they were. But right now, it's Ohio State. It's Michigan.
I would have said Michigan first, but anyway.
Shut up. All right, I'm being nice right now. Shut up right now.
Illinois was a 10-win team. I mean,
I'm sorry, Indiana, and once again, great year last year. Indiana may struggle to win 6 games this year.
I mean, is Nebraska going to be the new?
I think Nebraska, because I love Matt Rule. I think he's a terrific head coach. I think he's going to get that thing going. I think he's going to be. They'll be in that top 5 this year.
Hey, wait. I'm still trying to wrap my head around you saying that the Big Ten isn't in the same level as the SEC.
I knew he was. I've
been looking out this window here and seeing if like pigs are flying, wondering if hell is freezing over or if someone's dying or something. No. I mean, is this a deathbed confession, Jim? I mean, what is wrong with you? Are you high right now? I mean, that's the question I gotta ask.
His face looks a little flushed.
I mean, is someone gonna
that's because I've been sneaking out in the afternoons and going to the doggone pool to get away from everything for a little bit.
Does Al Qaeda have like you reading a message off with a gun to your head? I mean, I don't know. This is just an interesting thing. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this.
I never thought that was going to be Jim's take.
Ever.
The whole time he's talking, I'm just going.
After Zach's long ass lead up.
You should have said that, Jim. We wouldn't even talk about it, man.
I mean, just all this time taken, and that's the take, Zach. This is why you guys should communicate more on your stuff. Like we have a group chat and everything. It's great.
Hey, you know what? When you start coming up with ideas, let me
know. No.
All you gotta do is hit a button. All you do is hit a button. Come on.
Now. Zach, you want to run the show?
I do not. No.
There you go. You can't hit the button. So you don't have a choice. Don't want to hear it. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Can I preface this in?
Well, with
the one thing that I want to see is if the college football playoff goes to this 11-5. Okay, I don't think anybody's going to buy. The SEC gets 4 bids, the Big Ten gets 4 bids, then the ACC. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be 5 and 11. If they go that route, the SEC is going to have to go to 9 conference games. I like the fact that the Big Ten and the SEC getting that scheduling agreement together to where they match up at least once during the regular season in non-conference. Then you'll get a chance to see where the Big Ten stacks up. But right now, it's hard to say that because the SEC is 7, 8, maybe 9 deep, depending upon the year. Yeah.
Conferences are dumb in NCAA. It's just dumb. They're all dumb. You got these non-geographic conferences. Yeah, it's dumb. Why? It doesn't make any sense.
May play to a 10 overtime tie at 0-0. But if you listen to Vandy's quarterback saying that the Big Ten sucks, and that was the wrong thing to say.
Oh, I wonder why you say that.
Well, Vanderbilt will win in that matchup.
Yeah. And look at what they're
against Maryland.
They're building.
They didn't do well in the
I don't care. It's Maryland. Do they have football?
Yeah,
crab cakes.
Oh well, they
very good.
They won a national championship in basketball. I didn't know that. I forgot the university even existed. Is it even a thing?
The
Terrapins. Yeah,
they're pretty good in lacrosse.
They're turtles on land. That's what a terrapin is. They're the ones that get ran over on the road all the time.
Maryland's got a pretty
like the
good
football
team.
Oh, good for them.
I like the football team.
Nobody watches lacrosse. I don't understand the sport enough.
Okay.
You have a stick with a thing and you throw the ball. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks pretty physical. I'm sure I would enjoy it, Zach. Like hockey, you'd enjoy it if you'd ever learn it.
Because Mississippi State is such
the worst example ever. The worst example.
School, and Maryland's not?
Well, listen, if you were Mississippi State and had to play all the schools that they did, you'd suck too.
Didn't Vanderbilt beat Alabama this year?
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're going to beat Maryland.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
He said without a doubt, folks, you can write that one out.
Let me ask you guys this. What would you guys go with the 4-4 2-2, 1-1, whatever,
I'm not
or
a
would
big
you
fan of
go
two-twos.
with the 11 with the 5-11 format for the football playoff when they go to 16 teams?
Go ahead, Jason.
Sorry, I was still looking at Vanderbilt's schedule.
Way to do the research.
I don't know. I say this. I think you do. I think you have the conference championship out of the Power Four. Those two teams. So you got 2-4. You got those 8. So the 8 get to go to the playoff because they obviously won enough to play for a conference title. And then you have 8. We'll call them at large, and that's anybody and everybody else. And so then you can reshuffle. You can reseed it. However you want to call it.
I hate that they don't reseed. I think it's stupid.
Yeah, reseed.
I'm glad they're going to the straight seed now. That was the part that I argued about, was because Arizona State, no way in the world are they a top 4 team. They backdoored in to the playoffs, but they got a 4 seed because they won the big whatever they're in the Big 12. I mean, so no, I agree with straight seeded. There we go. If you got 3 SEC teams that are in the top 4, they're getting the buys. Okay, let's go. And that, I mean, I like the 5-11.
You have to have cross conference play because and again, yes, Chris, and you can jump on here and tell me I'm wrong, but like, okay, when you say the SEC is better than everybody, they have to play outside of the conference to prove Big 10, Big 12, like ACC,
week 1 this year
to play outside of the conference. Week 1, week 2, whatever, and I don't even know if week 1 or week 2 is a fair estimate. I mean, maybe
week 1 this year, Ohio State, Texas. That's going to be top 3.
Yeah, Zach.
If not,
get the
5.
schedule out and look at it. That's a good game.
Well, I'm just saying,
it's a great game that's going to be buried on the Fox 11 o'clock window. that everybody is going to be. It's Labor Day weekend. What's everybody going to be doing at 11 o'clock on Labor Day weekend? It's the stupidest thing ever.
Well, I didn't say
I'm
that
just
it was
saying, like,
intelligent.
week 1, not every team's like rolling along. You wait till week 6, 7, 8 when they're not necessarily peaking, but they're in
Zach,
a little bit better form. Go ahead,
Zach. You don't have the ability to do that with conference schedules and everything else that they have to do, and you can't go and play the old crappy game anymore like you used to be able to the first Appalachian State game or whatever. You can't play that team anymore because you don't have time. You got to have the wins, and if that's where it fits in the schedule, then you got to do it. You got to pick up that game.
Here's where I'm curious. Mizzou dropped Illinois for 2 of their 6 games. I wonder if that's the tell saying that the SEC is going to go to a 9-game conference schedule.
They probably will.
I think they have to.
They probably will.
What do you, Jarvis? You've been awfully quiet. What
he doesn't understand the 5-11 part.
with my shocking revelation that the Big Ten is not as good as the SEC. Yes,
I'm still kind of. That really was out of your mouth. I mean,
Jason, do you need to go backstage and think about it for a second?
That's what it says.
Gather your thoughts.
You go. Hey.
All right. So do you got a take on this, or do we need to move on?
No take.
Wow. Good. Yeah, it's no take. Fine. See how you are.
Well, I can still say that Mizzou's only going to win 9 games this year. Now
you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth.
Well, I'm going to count them up right now. Central Arkansas, win. Kansas, win. Louisiana, win. Carolina, at Faroe Field, South Carolina, win. UMass, win. Then comes the one, Alabama.
Where's that game at?
It is at Columbia.
Win.
All right.
Wow.
Turn that back up. Nick Saban ain't over there. Nick Saban ain't showing up through that door.
Then you got Auburn, Vanderbilt.
8.
I like both of those games. There's 2 more wins.
There's 8.
Shut up, Jim.
I still think so. And here's everybody's talking
They always
about
end up with Arkansas, which you can't wait for that one. I'm gonna have 2 kids.
Oh, I know.
Not each side of that one.
Oh, you'll love that atmosphere down there. That's terrific, and I'm not being sarcastic when I say that.
I will say their stadium's sweet. I got to.
It is really nice.
Yeah, it's a cool town.
Yeah,
well, that's what Calipari said.
It's a lot better than Houston.
Jason, you make Houston sound like a big crap hole. Is that what you're saying?
So far, that's what I've seen.
Well,
Now,
they're not going to see much more of it. I'm going to bed and I'm getting on a plane tomorrow for home.
No, I don't get on a plane till 10.
Houston sounds like it's Spanish for devil's anus. Is that what it means? Doesn't sound like a very good place. Astros, just throw it out there. Not great.
Better call P. Diddy to get
Is
down
that
here.
better than San Diego? Is that better
San Diego.
San Diego. But let's circle this back a little bit because Zach also brought up a good point.
Oh God!
About Zach's my man.
Good for you.
I miss talking to Zach. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe you two should do a show where you compliment each other the entire time.
No, me and Kevin's going to do a soccer show if USA wins.
I keep waiting for that to happen.
Boy, that's been what that said. Oh wait,
it's like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
shut up.
That's about the last time Jim was on this show.
Diddy will receive his sentence and get probation and let out for early behavior or die before that soccer show.
Up on Astroglide before you.
It's called Diddy Glide.
Diddy
Glide. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna open up his own brand.
That's what he should do. It's the only thing he can sell right now.
To do something, shoot. But
I got so many taglines for this.
We talked about Bonilla Day yesterday. Well, guess what July 1st also turned into for all of these Division I schools? They now can start paying the players. They now can start. It's now the Wild
Jim,
West on steroids.
They ruined college sports.
Yeah,
they did.
Thanks, O'Bannon.
Yeah.
All because you had 1 year on some basketball game where it was, whatever. That's the other thing. Okay. So I love playing NCAA 25, 26 coming out here. I think in a couple days.
Next week.
But here's the thing. Like all these guys are complaining over the years about their name, image, likeness. You're on the video game for a year, maybe a couple. And then it's computer generated names, man. Like get over yourself. Just go play. No. I ruined everything. But EA can make it right if they bring back some basketball and even some baseball.
Are bringing basketball back. They announced it today. They put a teaser out about it.
Oh, sweet.
There you go.
Yeah, they put a teaser out saying that they were going to bring basketball back.
There you go.
And by the way, 2026 comes out. The early release is next Tuesday, I think. The early release is Tuesday, and then everybody else can get it Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Chris, trivia question: who was the last one on the NCAA basketball? Who was on the cover?
Ooh,
Blake Griffin.
Oh, it was. Yep.
Yeah. I have it. It's in the garage.
Yep.
I might sell it on eBay now. I've been holding on to it just for hoops and ends.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I still got the college football 14. Yeah,
I got that one out there too.
I had that one too. Yep, I got it.
Even though it's got a garbage Michigan player on the cover, but that's okay. I still kept it for prosperity reasons only.
Dylan might have that stuff. I don't have video games, dude. I mean, I got an Atari floating around somewhere.
You wouldn't know how to hook up an Atari.
Hey, Jason, how were you in Asteroids? Were you a pretty good Asteroids player?
Nah.
Oh, I could totally see Jarvis being at Spinning Wheels and being the bully trying to get on the Street Fighter arcade game. Get out of here! This is Jughead's machine.
No. I was too busy out there chasing girls, man. I didn't care about a video game.
No. Jarvis didn't do that. Jarvis was more of a pinball wizard back in his day.
Could you play some pinball there, Tommy?
You get the little hip going with the little hip shimmy and all that. You know what? That hip shimmy makes all the girls go crazy.
Dude, I was shooting the duck. I was doing everything out there, man.
Shooting the duck.
Shooting the duck. Duck hunter. He was doing duck hunter.
There it is.
No, man, I was a supreme skater.
Oh God, I want video of this.
Oh, I can hop on roller skates
right now. I want video of this.
Okay,
Jarvis on roller skates.
Time out.
That was 100 pounds ago. So
okay, wait. No. You just said I could jump on roller skates right now. I want to see this. I think we should film this. Yeah. I think we should film this as a bit for the show, kind of like where I said I think I can get a hit off of a major league or of a professional baseball player. Didn't happen.
That didn't.
I think Jarvis saying that he could jump on roller skates like no big deal. I think that should be something that should happen. And I know we could.
I could do it right now. I'd hop right on there now.
And then you'd fall like right on it.
Yeah, that's like that video of the guy. The video of the guy that does the backflip.
The next thing we know,
this is what peak male performance.
Jarvis will be going to football practice. The next thing we know, Jarvis will be going to football practice at Crystal with a flipping cast on one wrist, knee braces on, and his head bandage.
I don't really want to start my second go around at Crystal City on a cart.
Wheelchair coach.
Yeah.
Not armchair coach, wheelchair coach. Here, this is a question from one of our watchers. Did anybody see the quarterback ratings on the game yet?
Not yet.
I haven't either. But I haven't looked hard enough either.
Caleb Love is the highest, not Caleb Love, Jeremiah Love. Gosh, I'm so stupid. He was the highest rated running back at 95.
Okay, Jim, that looked QB was the two letters he had. So
I understand.
I don't know, but
Just Full joining in. This, ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Thank you. I didn't do anything except interview people and take video clips and then put them all out there. But
I went to the boys.
I was at both of them, so thank you, Josh, for being on there and bringing a couple of his athletes on, doing those interviews. They were fun. Always, it's always fun to hear what the kids have to say about it. And you know what? If you really want to hear some more recap of those events, you could watch last week's episode of the Coach's Box where we had Sean Erickson on, and Sean did a great job filling in. I think we're going to go ahead and audition him for maybe a more permanent role. So one of you guys is probably going to get booted, but that's okay. We'll talk about that
another time. Jim's like, "Oh no, darn!"
Like, oh no, that'd be Kevin. Kevin's like, "Wait, me? Oh darn!" But
I think it's time for a break. Every couple months.
Once a quarter.
I was hoping you would name it what I said in the chat group, dude. And special guest, Jim Powers.
Hey, Jarvis, I have other things to do besides changing everything, okay? Gosh.
No, the prodigal son returns.
Anyway,
so there it is.
When we come back, we will finish with our last segment of the Coach's Box Call Like See It podcast. We'll be back shortly.
Which we have no idea what we're talking about.
You guys got to decide it's not soccer.
Good, I'm parched.
Yep. All right. Be back in a second.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal.
And if you don't have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm How Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
All right, well, welcome everybody back to our possibly third and final segment. I'm assuming Chris runs the show, so we just kind of do whatever he wants to do. But anyway, Chris,
if Zach wants to talk about instant replay for the football championships, I'm okay with it.
No, we're not doing it. You said no, and you said no. We're not doing it.
I'll be nice, and we can talk
before
about
we get into it, though, episode 240. Hey, fellas, couple days. We are celebrating July 4th. Merica. Hope everybody has a great 4th, has a great time on vacation.
Hey.
Hopefully a little extended weekend.
I
Guys,
know,
best country.
Yep. Zach already celebrated.
Did you?
Yeah, I swam in the Gulf of America.
There you go.
There's more America.
America.
Were you wearing a red, white, and blue swimming suit, Jason?
Well,
okay, wait. If you weren't wearing anything, I don't want to hear it.
Man, it was going to really be a good story. But I had a swimsuit on. But yeah, I'm a little red.
Yeah.
Not red, white, and blue, though.
No, I didn't have red, white, and blue swim.
You didn't plan very well then, apparently, because if you're going to swim in the Gulf of America on the week of America's birthday, you should have been more patriotic in your planning, and then that would have been a great story.
In the Will Ferrell outfit with the
God, no.
There it is.
No. Hell no.
I probably could have found a good Trump Speedo to put on, but I mean,
oh Lord,
I felt like I would spare everyone in the Gulf of America from having to see it.
Poor Jim over there being triggered.
There, I didn't want
some children.
Not saying a word.
Well, we know how you really feel. All right, Zach, what's our next topic here?
All right. So next topic, I want you guys all. We have not talked about this in a while. Talk about the Blues and hockey. I guess there's a lot of different things in the off season that's been going on.
It's all free agency, Zach. It's
free agency. This a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So you guys have at it and talk a little bit about your opinions on all the different transactions with the Blues.
Transactions,
well, I mean, the only transaction I really have noticed is Pius Suter was signed. just recently, the former Vancouver Canucks center was signed.
He's a Canuck.
Yes, signed a 2-year deal with the Blues.
Hey.
And he'll be getting a little bit of a raise with the Blues. They did need a center, and so I mean, is what it is. I was hoping they get rid of Kyrou. Didn't happen. But.
Apparently, everybody wanted more. They didn't like the fact that Kyrou had a no trade clause that was like a complete no trade clause. So.
It's airtight. It's an airtight.
Yeah, he would have to approve any trades that any other organization make. One of the reasons why I don't really like the fact that you give these guys these complete no trade clauses, which means they have all the power. And most times, if you can swing it, you would sign these guys to no trade clauses to say 11 teams or whatever. There's different levels. They have to give you a number of teams or whoever. See you, Jason. Way to jump out of the thing. That's like a normal thing for Jason, just to leave the middle of the show.
I do what I want, bro. Who knows, man? I had this Houston Air sucks too.
Oh, Lord.
Anyway,
they did give Letty a release today too, which I don't think was a big shocking move in any way, shape, or form. But I tell you what, I like their draft. I like the kid that they got in the first round. Now the big question is going to be: is Charbonneau going to go play college for a year or 2 years, or is he going to come on, board? Because he's supposed to go to Michigan to play college. So that's kind of the big question about him. But he's really solid, and who they got in the later rounds, the two kids that they got, I think they did a really nice job with the draft and meeting some needs and all that stuff. The Charbonneau kid's really good. I saw some highlights and some clips, and he's pretty solid.
He's projected to be a top 6 forward for them. The Logan Mayu, I'm kind of curious to see. We gave up Zach Bolduc to get him. I got a little bit more backstory and heard apparently he had all this baggage about some of his questionable stuff when he was younger when it comes to a female in Sweden. Come to find out, he got sent a picture of a girl. I don't think she had a lot of clothes on. And what do you do? He Snapchats it to all of his teammates or buddies in a group text without her permission, which in Sweden is against the law. So he had repercussions there. Matter of fact, he said he was trying to tell teams don't draft me. I need to work through this. And then the Canadians did draft him because they obviously did their homework and didn't listen to anybody. And it's Montreal, so that's what they do. And he's apparently is kind of put a lot of this. He's trying to put a lot of it to bed. And that was a very bad choice of words. But he's trying to work through it. I mean, I know what I meant, but I just oh my god, what a terrible pun that was.
That was not good.
So anyway, no. The FCC isn't going to show up for that one, but they would for chips.
A big problem with the Blues is their salary cap. I mean, they don't have a lot of room to work with. And you got, people like Krug and others. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Krug's going to he's
coming off.
But their salary cap
coming off the books.
But their salary cap is a hard situation, and they had to sign their backup goalie. They had to spend a lot more money than what they expected there, and they're still a young team. I mean, they played over their heads this year.
That's why I love Montgomery as the coach for this group, because he's going to get the best out of those guys. We saw that in the tail end of the season. I think Montgomery is going to really, really show why he's one of the best coaches in the NHL, molding this group and getting them going, the way that we love watching a Blues team play. not to dump and chase. Let's get after it. Let's be physical. Let's get the back check going and do what we do defensively. But I really think Montgomery's going to love the makeup of this team. And I think Armstrong did a really nice job with it, with some of the moves.
I do think they're kind of up against it a little bit because they're going to do something with Holloway's contract after this next year. They've got some guys they got to make decisions on. But to be honest, when we talk about the Blues, we're not sitting there going, oh, my gosh, the ownership's terrible. They make no moves. They don't go and try to get anybody. Armstrong is willing to go out. And I can't make fun of Armstrong with his stupid voice because I feel like he was the kind of guy who tracked me down and beat the piss out of me. These guys, I'm not scared of Mozeliak, not a bit. I feel like they're going to be better. It might take a little bit. I agree with you, Jim. I think that Montgomery is one of the best coaches. He's got these guys where he wants them. The only thing that will be a holdup to me for the Blues to make a deep playoff run, obviously we got to say injuries and everybody stays healthy.
Right.
But if everybody's healthy, Jordan Kyrou has to do more for the money that we're paying him because he had a great year, but then in the playoffs, he shriveled up and was non-existent. Yeah. He was like Lance Armstrong's other testicle that's not there. Should be, but it's not.
You know what, though? But
am I wrong? He's non-existent in the playoffs. That's
Here's
exactly
what I'm
right.
going
Jarvis
to say.
completely missed that, so that's okay.
Everybody right now in the NHL is playing to lose in conference championships because Florida, they ain't going to get beat, and Edmonton is not going to get beat.
Yeah, they are. Wait. Yeah, Edmonton. Yeah.
Stanley Cup. They win a Stanley Cup.
They ain't winning. They ain't got a goalie.
Yeah, but they are going to be the odds-on favorite in the Eastern and Western conferences to make it back to the Stanley Cup.
Florida, yes. The Western Conference, no. Because until Edmonton goes and gets a goalie, Skinner's terrible.
He's horrible. But they very well could.
Is he Swiss? Because I've seen cheese. It's got. Oh, man, come on. He's whole where at his game. He's freaking terrible.
Okay, what city do they play hockey in? The Florida hockey team, is that in Miami?
They play in Surprise, Florida.
Huh?
Surprise, Florida.
Okay.
Florida.
Where is that located next to? What
It's a little bit north of Miami.
So in essence, how is Florida good at hockey but not baseball?
Well, because Zach, what they did was they drafted really well, they traded really well, and they've got these guys on contracts that are salary cap contracts that really work, and they don't have an income tax, so people don't have no income tax, so people want to go to Florida and play.
How come they aren't on the Marlins? So that's what I'm saying.
Well, because
the Marlins ownership is a train wreck. We talk about the Cardinals ownership. The Marlins are right there with them.
Well, I think you have the Cardinals, and then you have the hang on, I can't reach that far. Marlins,
and then you got Tampa
terrible.
Bay.
Yeah.
Then you got. And that's the thing. You're right. There's no tax down in Florida. Why can't those teams get players?
Because baseball's 162 games and hockey's 82, going to be 84.
Well, it's going to be 84, but they're cutting 6 preseason games, I think it is.
I'm not a big fan of that. I think everything should stay the same. I hate adding more games to a season that's perfect. In my opinion, hockey season is perfect. 82 games.
But it's still too long.
Well, because they extended out. They have these
still too
breaks.
long.
Jim, there are a lot of things that people are going to complain about being too long. Hockey season is not too long. It's good.
You've lost your mind.
Well, I've had that been told to me a few times.
You start in the middle of October, and you finish, if you make the Stanley Cup, you finish on June 16th.
Well, then they should.
What are we doing?
Instead of having a 7-game first-round playoff, put it back at 5. Same thing with the NBA. Why
the
have
first round is 5
in the NBA?
No,
It's a best of 7, isn't it not?
I thought the first round was best of 5.
I think
They could have
best
went
of
back.
7.
But still, the NBA is the NBA.
Jim, how long is the soccer season for MLS?
But you only play once a week.
Oh, okay.
You only play once a week.
No, don't care.
Once.
They have all these friendlies and all this other BS. Yeah, this game qualifies for this, and then we're gonna go play. It's in our season, but it's not in our season, and then we're gonna go over here.
It is all best of 7, Jim.
It's all best of 7. Yeah.
There was one point where the first round was best of 5.
Then it should be best of 5. So is the NBA.
Outdated, and how long you've had a hiatus from the show, and you haven't been able to do any research, and you're too busy announcing and stuff.
I'm being a nice guy tonight. I could have said, Jarvis, that the Big Ten was better, but I was realistic, and I did it. Be nice.
Well, we've had more views all those weeks, so maybe you should go back.
Oh, God, here we go.
That's because you haven't.
All right, so back to Accountant Live.
You haven't shared the show out yet.
I love
back,
you, it's all
back,
good.
Back to Accountant Live. Jeez,
there he is.
All right, so in my opinion, I feel like the Blues can be a team that can compete in the Western Conference. I don't know if they've got enough. Again, it has to be Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou have to make a bigger jump even this year to be elite players. I think they're good players. I don't know if they're elite players. So that's the biggest problem here for the Blues. Edmonton obviously is going to be good because they have 2 of the best players in the game. They don't have a goalie. They proved they don't have a goalie. That's why they didn't win the cup. They should have been right there. Should have probably won the cup with the talent if they add some depth. But again, salary caps are problems. Florida has a dynasty in the making for the next 3 years at least. I hate that they signed Brad Marchand because I don't like him.
Oh, he's an idiot. I hate him.
I just don't like him. I don't like him because he was with the Bruins. He's the kind of guy I don't want to play against. I'd probably like him if he was a teammate. I'll probably like him when he's done playing and have more of appreciation. But they're going to be good. I just don't know if I don't know if the Blues can get over that hump. I mean, again, they've got good players. They will be a solid team. Montgomery will have them playing out of their minds, barring injury. And I do think the Dylan Holloway injury hurt them this year. Really did.
Oh, especially in the Winnipeg series. Absolutely, it did. If they have him in the Winnipeg series, I think that series turns on its head.
Well, I think they win.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they just weren't the same team, and they were really good when he was with them playing. So, right. It'll be interesting to see. I do like the moves. I think Nick Leddy. They've got to do something about their defensemen. I do think that Armstrong is good for about one more move. If he can bolster the blue line a little bit and have a good second pair, I do like the pickup of the Mayu kid for Bolduc because you have an abundance of forwards. Suter's a good pickup. They need one good move, and I think that shores them up. Top to bottom, I think they're going to have 4 solid lines. I really do.
Wish they had that prolific score. And they keep saying it's Kyrou or it's going to be Thomas. Thomas played well. Kyrou's the one. He's got to play better in the playoffs. He's just got to be better.
But here's the thing: if both of those two, Jason, and I'm right there with you, but if both of those two step up to play the way that we want them to play, that will take the place of having a Connor McDavid. That will take the place of having a Tkachuk.
That might take the place of having a Tkachuk, maybe a Brady Tkachuk. But man, Connor McDavid's on another level.
Oh yeah,
we don't have anybody like that. The days of Brett Hull playing. I mean, to me, every time I watch the Blues play, every season that they don't have a guy like that makes me appreciate Brett Hull even more. Because you don't get those kinds of guys. That there's only a handful of them that you get to see in hockey, and we had one of the best players to ever play the game. Wearing the blue note. McDavid is the best player in the game
in our generation.
I wish we would have traded Kyrou and anything that was not nailed down for Matthew Tkachuk, because what have the Panthers done since they picked him up? 3 Stanley Cup appearances and 2 championships, and going on probably another 2 or 3, because he's the guy who makes them go.
If they win next year, they'd be the first team to three-peat since the 80s.
Since
I believe
the Islanders.
It was the Rangers.
No,
Islanders.
The Islanders, I believe.
Yeah, but it was one of the New York teams, but it was like the early 80s.
Oh, it definitely wasn't the Rangers, because the Rangers weren't any good. Just saying.
But yeah, I agree. I think if those two can get to where we all want them to, I think they're going to be just fine. But once again, the West is going to be absolutely loaded again next year. And, with Edmonton, you got Vegas. And by the way, it was, sad to see Petro, retire. But, everything he's done, everything he did for the Blues organization, just unbelievable.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
What do you think, Jason?
I think so.
Man, I mean, he's won the cup. I know. It's hard not to say. I mean, 2 different organizations.
Played in 3, won 2.
He's.
And remember, the one he won, was it with Vegas? Was in like their second year of existence?
No. They played for it, and he won it. He won it when they beat the Panthers.
Okay.
He won it when they beat the Panthers. When the Panthers, that first year that they made it, I believe that's when. No. I take that back. Yeah, I'm right. I believe I'm right. I don't know. I'll look.
But it was still in the early infancy of the Vegas.
Well, the early infancy. The whole fact of the matter is, their whole team is they beat the Panthers, and he won. He was a part of that, and then they got beat by the Washington Capitals, the Ovechkin's only cup. So that's I'd say he's probably a Hall of Famer. I mean, it's hard. It's not the same as it was with defensemen back in the day, but he's solid. Again, you take these guys for granted when they're not around. I think that's Doug Armstrong's biggest regret is not re-signing him and allowing him to walk. He should have retired as a Blue. He might not be a Hall of Famer if that happens. I think he has a better chance now being a Hall of Famer because he did leave. I agree. Again, what'd you do with your teams? That always plays into it. He wouldn't have won the cup. I mean, because of COVID, he wouldn't have been a part of a second cup team here. Although he wouldn't have had Jordan or what's his name? Falk. Is it Jordan Falk? I'm brain dead all of a sudden.
Justin Falk.
Justin. Yeah, whatever. He sucks. So we wouldn't have him. Yeah, no defense playing defenseman. Those are always great. Little bitty guy, big guy like Pietrangelo or Justin Falk. Little bitty guy.
There you go.
Yeah, we're not good on the power play, and he's supposed to be good on the power play. So, it's really sad. I mean, I hate to see it for him, but he's going to try to recover from it, and maybe he has a comeback in him somewhere. I don't know. I'd like for him to retire as a Blue. Maybe he'll do that.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
It'll be interesting for sure.
I don't know. Do we have any other hockey talk to talk about?
Not really.
Nah, nobody cares.
Well, Zach
about it. Zach doesn't know enough about it.
So much there.
Doesn't know anything.
Zach hasn't said a word in 10 minutes, so
not 30.
Zach, you should have been hanging out backstage in the green room.
Oh, that cracks me up.
Zach, we'll talk about replay next week.
We have to wait.
Jim. So that means
yes.
That means you will be here. That means us three will be talking about that.
No, I will be there.
Wow.
I will be.
You heard it. You heard it. It's live. It's on the internet, and the internet's forever.
Bold statement, Cotton.
Speaking of a bold statement, we'll do this segue right quick. Did you see that, Chris? You put it on the group chat. The Dick Vitale, his comment.
Yes.
So
love it. Love it.
Go ahead.
Do it.
No, okay. Go read it. Yeah,
well, here's what Dick Vitale tweeted, or somebody else tweeted for him. Said absolutely pure jealousy in all caps that the WNBA players voted Caitlin Clark the 9th best guard, number 9. Someday they will realize what she has done for all of the players in the WNBA. Chartered planes, increase in salaries, sold out crowds, improved TV ratings. So number 9, Caitlin Clark, in terms of the players vote.
It's garbage. It's garbage.
Dickie V hit it right on the head. It is absolute sheer jealousy. And the WNBA has lost a lot of points this week. And I love Sophie Cunningham, but her coming out about, the expansion with Detroit and Cleveland, that didn't go over well whatsoever. Then you've got this. You got Clark that's injured and hasn't played a lot thus far this year. I mean, they're just taking body blow after body blow right now, and they can't get out of their own damn way. And for the players to do that, that just shows how much jealousy there absolutely is.
Okay, let me do a timeout real quick. Only because I've been rewatching The Last Dance, and it was episode 3-ish, maybe 4-ish. Jarvis, I think you've watched it. If you're watching your history class, you can tell me. They talked about Detroit. It was Sally, and Sally was saying how Michael Jordan. You had Magic, you had Bird, and then MJ was the NBA's golden child. Okay, like that's the NBA's golden ticket, right? And everybody was going at him, especially Detroit. And back in the era of you guys are swinging, you guys are fighting, people aren't getting kicked out, hardly any flagrants. So what's the difference? And again, debate this if you want. What's the difference from Jordan being Jordan at that time versus Caitlin Clark and this time? Because it's I see parallels. What do you think?
I agree with that. But here's the thing. The officiating with the NBA back then, they let those guys get away with holy hell, and that's what the game was all about. The officiating, and I'll say it, I don't care. The officiating in the NBA and the WNBA is absolutely garbage. It's terrible. I can't watch the NBA anymore, and I haven't watched as much as I love watching, women's basketball and watching basketball in general. I can't watch that product because it's not the way that basketball is meant to be played. And that's where that's where a lot of the Indiana stuff is coming, because everybody's calling them a bunch of crybabies. And, Clark is the ringleader of that. Yes, if the officials would have just started teeing her up and telling her, shut up, I think a lot of that tone would have changed pretty doggone quick. And the same thing when she was a senior at Iowa. She got away with murder with the officials. If you get a couple good officials that know what the hell they're doing and just start issuing technicals and saying, you're not doing this, you're not going to do this.
That sounds like, Jim?
Then I think
sounds like the teachers that enforce the cell phone policy. I enforce the cell phone policy, but Chris, he lets the kids do whatever they want in class.
How did I know?
And so now I'm the bad guy.
I missed the cell phone discussion.
So what officials doing that? Officials aren't going to do that.
I wait. Here's the thing, though.
Well,
guys,
said.
Wait.
I submit to you.
Okay, I'm gonna let Chris go, but I'm gonna chime in here too.
Well, guys, think about it like this: the difference between the NBA of the '80s and the WNBA of today is the WNBA has been like sucking hind tit to the NBA, feeding off of them like a parasite for the last 25 years. Look at the amount of money that you make winning the stupid in-season tournament, the Commissioner's Cup. Again, in-season tournament's dumb. This is why it's America. Stop doing things the European way. They win. The organization gets $500,000 or something like that, and players get $30,000 for winning it. Okay, I mean, in comparison to the NBA, that's chump change, right? We agree they're not making as much money. Right now, the WNBA is more popular. Why is the WNBA more popular? Why are they getting all this stuff, as Dickie V alluded to, the chartered planes? Why are they even talking about expansion? You know why? Because of Caitlin Clark. And you can say what you want. And I agree that she probably needs to shut her mouth on some of this stuff. And you know what? If the officiating was a little bit better, you probably wouldn't have as many problems. But as Sean alluded to last week on the episode of the Coach's Box Call Like See It, episode 239, if you really want to go back and watch, he also said that out of all the flagrant fouls in the WNBA, the fouls on Caitlin Clark amount to 30%. 30% of all flagrant fouls are on her. What does that tell you? They are a bunch of jealous biddies. I don't know what to say. I can't make it any less clear because of that right there. The thing that they are you still have to protect. You have to protect the golden goose. You have this opportunity. Jordan, yes, he was the golden child, but the NBA was an established league when Jordan played. There was still, I know it was, like, oh, the NBA, Magic and Bird saved the NBA. Yeah, they had saved it. It was already going up. Jordan comes along and takes it to another stratosphere, but they weren't fledgling. When Clark shows up, like, okay, hey, it's a little popular. We got some good players. She is taking it to another level. They're talking about all the stuff that they didn't have. They didn't play in front of sellout crowds. And you're throwing it away because you're jealous of her? You have to be the stupid. Again, ex-wife decision because it's that stupid. You can watch.
If they would have played their cards right,
$1,000
and Angel Reese,
yes,
go back and rewatch it or watch it.
I did. That's why I said
if Angel Reese, if Angel Reese would have just checked her attitude and her ego, and Kayla Clark just does what she does, that would have been this era's Bird versus Magic. But no. They didn't want to play nice in a sandbox, and they took it to another level that you can't come back from. That's why Angel Reese, this me-bounds crap, she can't make a flip and layup, but she gets a rebound and puts it back. It's the most ridiculous thing ever.
I led the WNBA rebounding. How come not an all-star?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because you can't.
Hold on. Didn't Moses Malone pad his stats? Didn't he talk about that?
Yeah, but Moses Malone scored some points, though,
was
bro.
a way better defender than Angel Reese is.
Hey, he made some of them layups.
Don't be making that. Zach.
I'm just saying,
that was a terrible comparison.
Do not compare Moses Malone.
Saying there were stat patters in the NBA as well.
If you watch those clips of Angel Reese, she ain't trying to pad her stats. She's trying to make the layup, and she's not good. Now, to be fair, she has gotten better. She has obviously put in some work because she isn't playing as bad as she was. But her own problem is her own mouth and her attitude.
Yes.
And the difference between, say, a Clark and Reese and a Magic and Bird is, while they're rivals, there was respect between the two of each other's game. I don't think Clark respects her game, Reese's game, and Reese obviously respects Clark's game, and the rest of the WNBA doesn't respect Clark's game either, which, again, asinine as it is. I think Paige Beckers is the one who had the best statement about it. She said, when asked about Clark, because I'm sure everybody in WNBA is, she's bringing a lot of attention to this sport, and it's helping create new fans of our players in our league. She's right. Cunningham is also right about the expansion teams in those cities, because
she's right.
Why are you picking Cleveland and Detroit?
They're attached to the NBA. They're already there at the NBA.
No. That's number one. But number two, Cleveland already has an arena and they have a practice facility. Detroit already has an arena and a practice facility.
Because they have an NBA team.
What does Kansas City? Yes, they do. But what does Kansas City have?
An arena.
They've got an arena, but they don't have a practice facility. They'd have to build one.
You can pop one of those things up. A FEMA building works not just great.
Cleveland and Detroit had teams in the past.
And how'd that work out?
They would. I will tell you right now. Shut up, Chris.
Well, did they work? Where are they at? I'm looking. Hang on. Is it underneath here?
Checking.
You can't find their teams, Jim.
Is it time to go?
You can't find their team.
I'm thirsty.
Okay,
I'm thirsty.
Tell me where their team is.
Coming back. It's Magic. It's coming back.
Coming back. This whole thing. I mean, I think And it's not that they're just fouling her. Like the other night, the other night, that girl just body checked her. I mean, and I was happy that I was a Cunningham fan anyway. She went to Mizzou.
Yeah.
But she should go after her. And that's what Rodman did. That's what, guys that were on the Bulls did. And
Oakley, yeah.
But the 30% of the flagrant fouls are on Clark. And yes, if I'm Clark, I'm going to talk some smack to you. Well, other players consider and shove me down and punch me and slap me, and they're not even getting kicked out of games.
Yeah.
Bad officiating
everywhere.
That's why they put it this way. Mike Nolan could go referee the WNBA better than the WNBA officials.
Wow, that's bold. Hey, how about this, Jim? The Detroit Shock from 1998 to 2009. They had a team for 12 seasons. They're great.
The Rockers, baby.
And then the Cleveland Rockers. Then they're gonna then Portland gets a team again, and they had a team for 2 years. And 3 years, and they moved it.
What's good?
Why the hell? It's like, let's retread. Pete and Repeat sat on a fence, and then it's like, Pete fell off. Who's left? Repeat.
Okay,
we'll do it again. It's back and forth, back and forth,
What
back
was
and forth.
Cleveland's mascot again?
Rockers.
Rockers,
not knockers.
That is not what we thought you said.
That's exactly what I said. Rockers.
Rockers.
There was a K.
No.
There was a K
No.
Knockers. That sounds like one of those swimsuit Super Bowl games.
Okay.
No.
Come on, Chip.
Oh my God.
A couple of comments to get to here. It's very interesting how that dynamic would work if Clark and Reese were both on Team USA. I don't know.
Taurasi would have body slammed both of them and told them to shut up.
And Taurasi's part of the problem. So are some of these announcers and some of these old coaches and old players. A bunch of jealous, you know what? That's what they are. They're jealous.
Thank you. You know what they need, Jason?
Biddies?
You know what they need, Jason?
This is dangerous. Very dangerous.
A new voice.
Not where I was going to go with that.
I was really wondering how that was going to go.
There were two paths that we were going. Yeah.
And Botkins, yes, that's exactly what we just talked about, how they voted her the ninth best guard. Before we got into this.
Jason, sorry, I had to go there.
Don't
sorry.
be sorry.
I just
Don't
had
be
to say
sorry.
it.
What are you apologizing for? Stop that. Stop that.
No.
I would rather. I think that they missed the boat though, because a Kansas City or a St. Louis would do so much better than some of these terrible places that can't get fans.
Good in Cleveland.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess football in Canton, Ohio. That's Ohio. Never mind.
That's just Ohio. It's
not as bad.
Wow. All right, I'm done.
That's bad. It's as bad as Cleveland, Ohio, too. And
well, look, I mean, you got the Browns. They're terrible.
Well, don't even start with that.
The Browns' quarterback gets to play still, and the kicker doesn't. I don't understand.
One was driving fast, the other one was moving fast. Only different things here. Drive fast, fine. Move fast, no.
I was talking about Watson, but
I was still talking about Watson.
He was still talking about Watson.
I was definitely talking about him.
I just don't think Watson's going to have a happy ending when this is all done.
You guys got a number.
That's the best.
I like Beasting's. I like Beasting's comment though when he said Clark and Paige Beckers that should be the rivalry. I mean, that would be a good one. I think that would sell.
Yeah,
and maybe maybe there's just some weird conspiracy. Like everybody's continuing to talk about it, so it's like, hey, Clark, you got your Nike money, you got your millions. hey, if we keep the WNBA relevant by beating you up on a nightly basis, ESPN's going to talk about it. We're going to continue to sell tickets. It just is what it is. Maybe there's some crazy conspiracy like that. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. If Clark comes back after this season and she looks jacked, like Jordan and said, I have to get stronger for the Pistons, and she comes back and just looks like she's ready to throw down in a UFC fight. It'd be the greatest thing ever. Like,
Indiana's going to sign Ronda Rousey.
Indiana's
going to sign Ronda Rousey.
She's going to be there.
She's just under the basket, just looking at him, just under the basket, just walking around.
Say, listen, you can't play this game. All you're going to do is sub into the game and fight. Go get her. Yeah. Like Ryan Reeves, not a great skater. He wasn't brought in for anything else. Tony Twist, this is your only job. You're not here to score.
What's the fine? $500? Put it on my tab. Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go make a movie on Netflix, and I'll pay for all of this.
Right.
Done.
Finished.
Hey, all I can say is that Sophie Cunningham autograph card that I bought for $7 right now. I listed on eBay. I can't wait to see how that thing sells for. That jumped up. Hey, her $400 fine. She's made about like $1.5 million off of social media since when she body slammed what's her face.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
that was great.
That was great too. Hey, listen, I just like the fact that someone from Missouri is representing.
Yeah,
and if you're from Missouri and you like Sophie Cunningham, get out of my state. Get out of my state.
Go to Cleveland with Jim.
Be a knocker. I mean a rocker.
Yeah. Rocking the knockers.
Wow.
Whoa. It's a family show, Jason. Come on now. Well, I think that does wrap this episode of the Coach's
I couldn't
Box.
believe Jim wasn't asking for it sooner about, we need to call the show. It's getting late. I got to go to the back.
It's not. That's exactly where I'm going, actually.
9:15. 9:15. Go backstage first to the green room.
Green? Did somebody say green?
Oh, Lord. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Coach's Box. Call Like See It podcast. We definitely called it like we seen it. And we will be back next week for a brand new episode. Hopefully everybody is here. Well, no.
Hey, hopefully everyone has a happy and a fun 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And listen,
yes. Fireworks, yay or nay? What do you like? You like them? Don't like them? What do you think?
Blow,
because I'm from America.
Blow stuff.
Hold on. Not here in South City. When they sit in the middle of the doggone street in front of my house and decide to just go total pyrotechnics.
That sounds like a free show.
If it's JB Bridge, dude, there's like, never mind. I'm not going to get into it, but no.
Real quick, Jim hates it. Jim hates it because he has to play the game. Is this a bullet or not?
That is also a very. Plus, I got a new car that I don't want anything to happen to. And I got a new car that I don't want anything to happen to.
He's bought 2 new cars recently, so.
Listen. Do the American thing, buy some Chinese fireworks and shoot them off, because that's what we do here in America. So for all of us here at the Coach's Box and Kevin, who's not here because he's on assignment, see you guys all next week. Good night. God bless. Take care.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.